one of my fondest remembrances of my mother was when we were both very young. We were on welfare. And when you're on welfare, you get a little check every month from the state or the government that allows you to live not comfortably, but to live just to get by. So in those days, they would send a social worker by your house to check on the woman who was the welfare recipient to see what she was doing with the money. So when they came in your great-grandmother's house, it was so clean you could eat off the floor. And she was a woman who crocheted, she knitted, she sewed, and so she had beautiful lace doilies on all her living room furniture. And her furniture looked like she had just gotten it from one of the finest stores in the city. So the social worker, who was a white lady named Mrs. Beasley, she said to my mother, she said, "How did you get all of these nice things?" And your great-grandmother said in her Caribbean accent, "And what you think, I could live off of what all you give me?" She said, "I want the nicer things of life for my children. So I sew at my machine, and I scrub all you floors, and I take the money and I put my sons through music school. Come, Alvin, get to the piano. Jean, get your violin. Play for the lady." So my brother and I got our instruments, and when we finished playing, the woman was in tears. And of course, if you're making some outside income, she's supposed to report you. But my mother was doing so well by us that she decided that she wouldn't report your great-grandmother to the authorities, because if you make more money than what they give, then they cut your check.
Justified in obeying them. See, you and I today are in the valley of decision. We got to do like Peter did. They forced on him, "You can't preach in this man's name." Peter had to come up with it and said, "Look, shall I obey man or shall I obey God?" And I'm asking you today, are you ready to obey God? Are you willing to obey them? Brother Muammar Gaddafi offered the wealth of Libya to help me, to help Arabs, Muslims, and black people and Native Americans to come up out of our condition. What's wrong with that? The minute they heard it in Washington, they went to work to make mischief by making a law and tightening that law, saying Farrakhan can accept no aid from nobody that is considered a rogue nation. can't do business with them. And then said, if you get any money and we know about it, we're going to charge you with money laundering. Well, to hell with you. Then you charge me because it's time for a showdown.
Go ahead. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
God says, no gambling. Gambling is a device of the devil to divide you. But society says if we can play the lotto, the state can get money to fund education. So they put a noble purpose on an idea that is in contravention to God's instruction. They make evil fair seeming. They frame mischief by means of a law and then trap you and say you should obey what they say. Hell no. If what they say is not from God, to hell with them all. Let's rebel. God said, don't set up no graven image. Don't bow down to them or worship them. But everywhere you look, there's some statue in the house of God. And the people genuflection to stone and wood. They make evil fair seeming. They use deceptive intelligence to make you think it's all right.
Leaders in Los Angeles are saying that your statements, and consequently Mayor Bradley's keeping quiet about your statements until after your speech, proved to be divisive among two people who had been getting along rather well. Your reaction?
Sir, the Jews and the blacks that get along rather well are those Jews and those blacks who have some mutual interests. There is no black-Jewish relationship on a mass level, Jew to black. That's a farce. And the kind of relationship that we have with Jews that I'm very interested in ending is that landlord-tenant relationship, is that we clean your house relationship, is that you are the manager, we are the talent, you are the movie producer, and we are just the actor. We want mutual respect and mutual benefit out of any relationship that we have with Jews or anyone else.
Would you briefly explain the difference between what is considered anti-Semitism and what is considered anti-Zionism?
You know, I think your question should be properly posed to the Jews, for they are the ones that label me as anti-Semitic, but no one ever asked them to define the term. So don't ask me, a black, to define a Jewish-made term, which is really a cloud and a camouflage that they put up every time some black person criticizes some aspect of Jewish misbehavior. I refuse to accept that title. I will criticize Jews or anyone else whom I believe is incorrect in whatever policy they have. And if the Jews want to throw up the smoke screen that I'm anti-Semitic, you that write and call me anti-Semitic, ask the Jews to define that term, then apply that term to what I say.
God is a healer. How many are glad for the healing of Minister Louis Farrakhan? Can we just thank God right now for healing Minister Louis Farrakhan? Come on, give God a great big thank you praise. We thank you, God. We thank you, God. We thank you, God. Come on, let God know how grateful we are for sparing the life of Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Dear supporters of truth, we need 2 million signatures by February 26, 2023. Let's stand together with our black leaders and demand that the Nation of Islam and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's good name be removed from all hate group listings. To sign our petition, visit change.org/hands off Farrakhan today.